Well, I really liked the simplicity, the concept of the film. I liked the idea that a man is thrown into a situation like that, which if any of us were thrown into that situation, we'd have to say, what could we do? And if there was something we could do that the person on the other end of the phone was saying, you know, you could do to save your loved one, would you do it and how far would you go? So that was interesting. It was very simple. It wasn't overly complex, but it sort of touches everybody if you think about it. I'm a technical director as well. Part of the reason I didn't direct is because I had a deal to produce movies for a certain number of years. So that was part of it. And then when this came around, I was allowed to direct again. But, you know, I like the idea of all the cameras and the cars and the technical aspect and adding the sound to it and seeing if I could really pull all of that off with the performances of the actors at the same time. It just, you know, compelled me as a challenge. And so that's one of the things that made me interested in doing it. Well, I mean, I think if you're an actor, you obviously want to put together, you know, a scene or a reel to show your ability, because that's the best way for people to see you if you're unknown. It used to be headshots, now it's digital headshots, and so it's not such a big deal to have your picture and not have your picture. And obviously it helps to have an agent so that they can send you out for roles that they think you're appropriate for. And that really helps you get started if you're an actor. You know, as far as producing and directing, it's a hard job, and it's not an easy road. So the hardest thing I found about it is, you know, before you get a chance, there's a lot of waiting. And so that can be very frustrating, and a lot of people give up along the way, and so they never really get their chance. And so you have to persevere, you have to stay with it, you know, and even if you get rejected, which is gonna happen because it's the nature of an artistic thing, you still need to just sort of pick yourself up, maybe look at it and go, why was I rejected, after you get over emotionally being upset, and then try to make yourself better and go at it again. And eventually somebody's going to see your talent, and then you'll have a shot, and then hopefully you make it from that point. But you've got to last that long, and that's the advice I would give. I mean, you know, I think you need to stick it out for at least, you know, 3 to 5 years if you're really serious about it. You really do. You know, if you get to 10 years and nobody's interested, maybe you want to try doing something else. But, you know, 3 to 5 years is a fair amount of time if you're going to give it a real go as your career. Right now I'm finishing a movie we were working on for the last 2 years called Re-Kill, which is a very high concept, cool zombie movie. And so we're finishing that movie right now. And then I have another project that I can't talk about as a directing project, which I'll start towards the end of this year, early next year.